Hi, here we are. I've been calling these sections Revelations readings, but now I wanted to read the book of Joel very quickly. That was 3 chapters, but it's taking a long time. But anyway, I just feel like I don't want to just be words, so it's good to like understand what's being said, and that sometimes that takes time in the Old Testament, especially for me, because I'm just somewhat familiar, not really a scholar. But anyway, I want to go over chapter 2 again because, I think that I, in leading this study, missed the very important things about the good promises that God turns around about the middle of the chapter and promises us. And I feel like that really happens, like if somebody yells at you to get out of the street because there's a truck coming, and they say that when you get out of the street on the sidewalk, there's $1 billion. The first thing you hear is, car, I'm gonna die. In my level at this time, that's still what I hear first, because that I think that's like survival instinct. But I want to pay attention to the good things, okay? So I'm going to try to read quickly chapter 2 and I hope chapter 3 too. This way maybe there'll be one more video that's a review, and then we'll get back to Revelations. Father God, I pray that you bless this reading and that we learn from you, Lord. In Jesus' name, we thank you, God. Protect us throughout these crazy times that we're in. All these things are going on, Lord, and we pray that you hold and keep us under your wing, God. We're safe, and we're under your divine protection, Father God. In Jesus' name, we thank you, Lord. Amen. Okay, so chapter 2. The word is read in the name of Jesus Christ. Blow the trumpet in Zion. Sound the alarm on my holy mountain. Let all who live in the land tremble, for the day of the Lord is coming. It is close at hand. I read more commentary, and scholars seem to feel that chapter 2 is reflective, or rather reminiscing of the chapter 9 of Revelations, those locusts which we just read about, because we're on chapter 9. Verse 2. It is close at hand, a day of darkness and gloom, a day of clouds and blackness. Like dawn spreading across the mountains, a large and mighty army comes, such as never was in ancient times, nor ever will be in ages to come. Okay, so that makes me agree with the one commentator, because if this is like the biggest plague of locusts ever imaginable that ever was or ever will be, that would be like for Revelation, because that's going to be like the big biggie. Before them fire devours, behind them a flame blazes. Before them the land is like the Garden of Eden, behind them a desert blaze. Nothing escapes them. It's something that I believe that these things are to come in our time. And one of the main things that I see in our time is this age of information. Like the Bible is very, very, it's a big deal. And I've gained so much knowledge so quick on the internet. I'm just like click, 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 click. Everything I want to hear, click, 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 relates to all these verses throughout the Bible. And it's like we, in this generation that may witness this destruction, are also equipped to be very knowledgeable about the whole picture of things, which I don't think most people have. I mean, our grandparents probably, we all had Bibles. Maybe not the time to read it as much, especially in depthly. But how many years did the laity not even have Bibles? verse 8. Before them, fire devours. Behind them, a flame blazes. Before them, the land is like a garden of Eden. Behind them, a desert waste. Nothing escapes them. They have the appearance of horses. They gallop along like cavalry. With a noise like that of chariots, they leap over the mountaintops, like a crackling fire consuming stubble, like a mighty army drawn up for battle. At the sight of them, nations are in anguish. 6, 7. Every face turns pale. They charge like warriors. They scale walls like soldiers. They all march in line, not swerving from their course. They do not jostle each other. Each marches straight ahead. They plunge through defenses without breaking ranks. They rush upon the city. They run along the walls. They climb into the houses like thieves. They enter through the windows. Before them the earth shakes. The heavens tremble. The sun and moon are darkened, and the stars no longer shine. The Lord thunders at the head of his army. His forces are beyond number, and mighty is the army that obeys his command. The day of the Lord is great. It is dreadful. Who can endure it? Rend your heart. Verse 12. Even now, declares the Lord, return to me with all your heart, with fasting and weeping and mourning. Now, for Revelations, when these locusts come, it says that the people that were tormented by the locusts still didn't repent. So, it's like the mindset that I see now that is like rebellious to God, or like not considering him, has another mindset that I am familiar with because I was of that mindset. And it's kind of like, like I was into like Rumi, the Eastern person. Like, it's not about right and wrong, it's about like your feelings and your needs and stuff, and when people have their needs met, they behave good, and human beings are good, and this and that. And it's like, from my standpoint now, first of all, that's not going to get anyone anywhere, because, it's not true. And also, the Lord loves us. He's God and he loves us. And so, when he's torturing one, he wants one to turn to him so that he can be good to them. Because that's what he does. That's our Father. 13. Rend your heart and not your garments. Return to the Lord your God, for he is gracious and compassionate, slow to anger and abounding in love. I want to stop right there. Personal story. If my mom, all right, if my brothers and sisters ever watch my videos, I don't think at this point, I don't think they're that familiar with the Old Testament, but I am, and when I read it, I really saw my mother. She was a very, very passionate woman, either hot or cold, not lukewarm. And when she would be angry, she was angry, but when you appealed to her, Mom, I need you, she's right there. All right, and that's our God, and you're saying it right here. Slow to anger. Return to the Lord your God, for he is gracious and compassionate, slow to anger and abounding in love. And he relents from sending calamity. He changes his mind. Abounding in love. People that have had encounters with the Lord, I like to read their testimonies. PreciousTestimonies.com, I recommend that website. But people say he's just full of love. Like, they just feel the love when he comes near. How do I feel? Having received the Holy Spirit and having fellowship with him, that I wish were more clear. But for now, we see as in a hazy mirror. But one day we see clearly face to face. 14. Who knows? You may turn and relent and leave behind a blessing. Grain offerings and drink offerings for the Lord your God. Alright, the blessing is their offerings to offer him, because after this devastation they're not able to do their normal worshiping. The blessing is the ability to offer to him. He gives us the ability to love him, to worship him, and to offer to him. Blow the trumpet in Zion. Declare a holy fast. Call a sacred assembly. Gather the people. Consecrate the assembly. Bring together the elders. Gather the children, those nursing at the breast. Let the bridegroom leave his room and the bride her chamber. Okay, bridegroom usually means the Lord, Jesus. And the bride would be the church. Leave his room and the bride her chamber. So maybe that means time for this. 17. Let the priests who minister before the Lord weep between the portico and the altar. Let them say, spare your people, Lord. Do not make your inheritance an object of scorn, a byword among the nations. Why should they say among the people, where is their God? So reminds me of that was my mom. Because we should care what others think, perhaps, or we do. Our reputation, our clout. You know, that's probably a lot more important than some of us, myself, realize. But here we see it here. 18. Then the Lord was jealous for his land and took pity on his people. The Lord was jealous for his land. So, jealous. Who's the other entity that creates this jealousy? Okay, let's talk about what the other nations think. I'm not sure. Think of my partner. So, I'm gonna do something bad to him. He's jealous. Don't do that. What are people gonna say? He's motivated to make nice to the people. Alright, so that may be making me look at him again like, and then take pity on his people. So he had a second thought. Okay, I find when I read the Bible, there's the characters in the Bible, including our Lord, there's no shame. Like, yeah, I care about this, I care about that. This is motivating for me, what's good for me, and now I have to turn my attention towards this way. No shame, that's human nature. Okay, real talk. Alright, that's 14 minutes, so I don't want to make them too long, so even if we make a bunch of videos and we're still in the same book, it's okay. Father God, thank you for your word. Thank you that we get to hear your word, read your word, Lord. I'm all into it. I pray that when you come, we still get to study you through your word, Lord. And face to face, one day, one fine day. We thank you, Lord. Jesus' name. Come, Lord